the new topic of unit number 3, that is what to automate and scope of automation. While doing the software testing, as we have seen, we have to perform two operations. Number one, that is, if the scenario is like that, we can perform a manual testing, then we can perform the manual testing. But the scenario, if it having a number of lakhs of entries, or validation requires too much time, in that case the automation we have to use. But when we go for the automate software testing automation, then the question comes what to automate and what is the scope for that automation. How to start? If someone gives the project to us and said yes, do the testing, then the first question comes in our mind, from where we have to start, how to categorize the project, which model we have to test for which testing, because there are too many testings, right, that we have seen. In that case, the chaos get created, the conflicts get created in our mind. So that purpose, there is a practice required for of the testings, different kinds of testings. Then we can understand कि if we have project in our hand and we have to test that, there are different modules, different subroutines are there. Suppose there are different methods used, too much input is required to process the things if project is like that. Then the project requires high quality output. Here quality means accuracy, efficiency. Then if the parameter is like that, which type of testing we have to take first? Which testing we have to perform on which module, which subroutine, which method, which function, which process? These questions automatically comes. As we know that, again, there are 4 main testing patterns, right? There is first the unit, then integration, then performance and non-performance, then regression testing. On which things we have to work? This is the question, and that question should become in your mind first. We have seen in mini project a JUnit testing. That JUnit testing is used on what cases? If you able to recall the previous session, is anyone can tell me on which part we have used our JUnit testing, and what the JUnit testing said to us regarding that our mini project test case? Is anyone over there can tell me? Okay, no matter, but what we have seen in that, first we have installed JDK, latest JDK, then we have installed the Eclipse that which required, and the type of Eclipse ID which I have given over there. When we install these two things, then we have started to do the JUnit testing. As it saying that it is a JUnit testing means it is a unit testing, na? It is a unit testing. Means we have applied unit testing. What is unit testing again? Unit testing is the testing which is applied for a small unit or small portion, a small code of the project, of the module. We choose the very small unit. And what is that unit testing again? Unit testing is nothing but, we can say it is a white box testing. What is that? It is a white box testing. In some cases we can say it is a black box testing, but in our case, when we exercise the things about JUnit testing, over there we have seen unit testing, and that we can say it is a white box testing. Why we say it is white box testing? Because we have tested the code. We have tested the code. Which code in that mini project 1 for JUnit testing we have seen, we have typed, right? Which code? The two functions we have checked in that case: addition and multiplication. For addition in Java, we wrote the code, and for multiplication again we wrote the code. We have checked separate addition method, whether it gives the proper output or not for particular inputs that we have checked. We have checked a separate multiplication method, multiplication function in Java. We provide a input for that multiplication function, and the output with respect to assertion method we have given over there. And if it is correct, then we have seen that the testing shows a green bar over there. But at first time it shows correct, because we have in that case written everything in Java Eclipse IDE correct. So the green color that we have seen. But in assertion method, intentionally we wrote something a wrong one, and when we did the execution at that time, we had seen that as we have intentionally did the wrong input over there, then the bar which is shown by that JUnit testing in brown color or in red color, that kind of testing we perform over there. A simple thing, because it's a introductory and a very primary things that we have seen, and we are starting the things to do now. So that's why we have seen as a mini project 1 this case. If the code is very limited in that case, so there is no issue about what to automate, when to automate, and how to automate. So we did that thing, white box testing over there in our mini project. As the topic is saying, what to automate and scope of automation. Identifying the types of testing amenable to automation. Right? Means first you should have knowledge about different types of testing. What the particular test performs, you should have knowledge about that. What is stress testing, reliability testing, scalability and performance testing, regression test, functional test? What is that? Stress, reliability, scalability, what is that? It is functional testing or non-functional testing? It is non-functional testing, right? But if I want to check, if someone gives me a code of particular project, from which part we have to start, or what we have to do? If suppose project is talking about lakhs of inputs suddenly if comes, then whether that particular project is capable to handle that inputs, and with respect to that input whether it shows the output or not, then in that case what we have to check? We have to check its stress, whether the particular module is capable to handle that stress or not. Alright? For example, most of the time it happens when the university declares the results, or the state boards declare the results of SSC and HSC, or many times we have seen when the government declares their examination and they issue the hall ticket of particular examination. What the things happens with that cases? The server gets crashed, right? In that case, okay, there is a problem about low quality or low standard machines, or low ordered machines. It is a different part again. But if the code of the project, if it is not sufficient to handle the things, to deal with the multiple or lakhs of inputs at a time, the scenario that we have seen, 3-4 examples, in that case, everything gets collapsed. And if the application is like that only, if such application having a resemblance of only 2 and 3 days, means if the HS examination declares application, what type of application is this? This type of application having only resemblance of 2 or 3 days, and only first day, and if we consider only first day, the first 3-4 hours are most crucial. So over there, what we have to check, right? We have to first check the stress, right? We have to first select what to automate. First, the stress testing we have to do. This type of analysis we have to do in our mind. What type of application is this? And according to that, what to automate? Whether we have to start from functional testing, regression testing, or what, right? Okay. Then automating areas less prone to change. What to automate? The area which is less prone to change, that should automate. Then automate tests that pertain to standard. Where the standards required, where the standards are very much mandatory, that should be get automated. Management aspects in automation. What to automate? The things which we have to automate, where the management perspection is very much clear. Then design and architecture of automation. Here the things are given. Everything is related with these two things. Test framework, right? Test framework. Test cases are related with test framework. Scenarios are related with test framework. Configuration file related with test framework. Tools are related with test framework. Results, again there is a bound between results and framework. What is that? And again the results generate the things. When it is get readed, then by someone, that kind of a result, that kind of a report, it should be a very clear-cut one, right? And that results, if you want to write, then different metrics we have to follow. Means the test framework is the important thing in automation. Which test framework which we are going to use? Because everything is related with that test framework. Test cases also, scenarios also, results also, tools also, and configuration file also. Alright? When we choose the test cases executes according to the test framework that we have chosen. Right? Scenarios are the things which is bigger than the test cases, right? What is that? It should be readable, and the parameter is decided of that reading is what kind of test framework is there, right? The things in such a way, if we have figure like this, we have to read the things. Then generic requirements for test tool. No hard coding in the test suite. No hard coding in the test suite. Test case suite expandability. Reuse of code for different types of testing test cases. Automatic setup and cleanup. Independent test cases. Test case dependency. Insulating test cases during execution. Coding standards and directory structure. Selective execution of test cases. Random execution of test cases. Parallel execution of test cases. Looping the test cases. Grouping of test scenarios. Test case execution based on previous results. Remote execution of test cases. Automatic achievable of test data. Reporting scheme. These are the generic requirements for test tool. Process model for automation, and this model is as the diagram is looking like V shape, so it is a V model. Process model for automation is V model. User requirements is handled with which type of testing? Acceptance testing. Which acceptance testing? See over here, as we have seen our lecture, what to automate and when to automate, how to automate and all these things. We have seen some examples also. If we want to deal with particular issues, then which type of testing we have to follow? It is showing with this V model. If we have to do work on user requirements, acceptance testing we have to use. Then if we have to work on software specification, then system testing. Which testing we have to follow? System testing. When we give the input system test plan to the system testing, then it gives a particular signal whether software specification are following the particular criteria or not. Then high level design. Integration testing. What is integration testing? Low level design, unit test plan, unit testing. We have seen the unit testing, and we know that what we have seen in that mini project, that is a very low level design, very low level code, na? So that's why with this normal term, that's unit testing and coding. Everything is stand on the platform of coding. Platform of coding. Okay, but from where we have to start? From unit testing, then integration testing, then system testing, and then acceptance testing. This is the path we have to follow from down to top, right? This is the path, this is the direction. First we have to perform unit testing, then integration testing, then system testing, then acceptance testing. First we have to consider on low level design, then high level design, then software specification, then user requirements. And when we do all these things, the expert says if we put in systematic way, it looks like the alphabet V. So process model for automation. Which automation model we have to follow? V model. And V model is nothing but the things which we have seen over here. Requirements, specification, design, coding. Okay, and here for unit testing, integration test, system test, acceptance test. From where we have to start? Unit test, integration testing, system test, and acceptance test. Okay. Again, for the unit testing, what are the things? Test design, test specification, test requirement. Test requirements, it's related with this acceptance test. Test specification related with this system test, test design is related with this integration test, right? And this design is related with this built software, specification related with build system, requirements is related with this install system, and this is all related with these things and these things related with code, these things and these things related with unit testing. What is this? This is V model. No, this is V model. For what? Process model for automation. There are two models, na? This is V model and this is W model. This is W model. Let's see the difference. Which model we have to follow for what? Automation. There are two models, keep in mind, W and V, which we have to follow. With respect to different features, the comparison is shown over here. Requirement specification for W model is at beginning level and V model also beginning level. The cost to do all these things in W model, low cost required. For V, it is expensive. Guarantee for W model low. V model, if you are choosing V model, then the guarantee of very high testing quality, it is high. Simplicity, it's simple, intermediate, it's somewhat complex to operate the things. Flexibility, a little flexible, again both having the flexibility. We can modify the things in W also and V also. Reusability, limited to you to some extent. We cannot reuse the things which we perform with the help of W model, very limited. V, up to some extent we can reuse the things. User development only at the beginning in both level, not user development, it is user involvement. Change incorporated, difficult. If the change happens, then it is difficult to incorporate it. This is some difference related with V model and W model. Next topic, selecting test tool, that we have seen in next lecture. Thank you.